One of my favorite memories growing up as a kid was running around barefoot outside, watching my mom plant her favorite flowers, and then things would get crazy with the water hose. But anyways, gardens present a great opportunity for parents to bring their kiddos to a safe space to explore and cultivate a sense of wonder. Well, today we're sharing all the ways Denver Urban Gardens is growing gardeners.
We have a new initiative called the Growing Gardeners Program, and it's to get young kids out into the garden to understand where their food comes from, to eat veggies early and often, and to do that at the preschool age, developing curriculum and just getting kids excited at that early age.
Doug is working on piloting these outdoor classroom spaces. We have like natural boulder seating for students to sit, listen, look into the gardens. We want to pilot some food forests so they can really learn and be interactive with their food and where it's grown. We're going to install, solar panels on the shed roof so they can have a charging station. So, even though we want kids to be outside, they can still plug in, charge up, at least in the garden, and be outside in nature. And making it a safe space for students and teachers as well to learn and teach and grow in the garden.
I'm just really excited about this program because there's this sense of wonder and magic that young kids have, and to have that in the garden is just really exciting, to watch them discover things on their own and to encourage them to look and slow themselves down.
These outdoor classrooms we're going to pilot at 3 or 4 school gardens, school-based community gardens around the metro area, and it's really to help students learn outside of the classroom. A lot of the studies have shown that classrooms aren't the best place for students to learn, and we really want them to be a sustainable space, especially, if we ever were to have a pandemic again. We have to have places to go and have respite from the indoors. We're really hoping to use these places for students to learn and grow in the garden.
I think the pandemic has pushed all of us we're forced to be creative, forced to be more resourceful, and I think, the notion of an outdoor classroom has always been there, but it sort of pushed us and pushed schools to start thinking about that as a viable space for learning.
And this is corn. Who asked if this was corn? You're right, Divine, this is corn.
This was, in the back of our minds, like outdoor classroom spaces in our gardens, make them more interactive. But yeah, with the pandemic, we're like, we need to get students outside in the classrooms, still learning. We went ahead and started building them with, some of these schools and the city to make sure that we had safe spaces for students to return to in the fall.
Having kids be outside is such a critical thing. We know that that's important for their health and well-being, but it's also, especially in the notion of a garden, it slows them down. It helps them to observe what's going on. It, again, cultivates that sense of wonder. And not on top of that, if they're growing their own food and connect themselves to their food, that's a thing that we've lost. And to be able to do that in a garden is really magical.
You learn, patience, you learn math skills, you learn agriculture,
Working together.
Exactly, team building, and that experiential learning really stays with, kids and adults really through their lives, as opposed to reading something in a book and not really using it. But it's like, oh yeah, I remember doing this, feeling this, all in the garden. And I think that's, almost a better way of learning for a lot of kids.
You and your kids can get in the garden with Doug, too. Find volunteer options, classes, community events, or garden near you at doug.org.